We're also getting new local reaction tonight about the fallout from the Capitol chaos.
KCAL 9 political reporter Tom Waite is here now, live with new interviews. Tom.
Hi there, Juan and Serene. Well, there is great concern tonight for the stability of our democracy. Political leaders we spoke with say false claims about the election and misinformation in general, whether it be about vaccines and the pandemic, all of it poses a potential threat to our republic. The images from January 6th of last year are still very hard to watch. The Capitol violated by a mob of former President Trump's supporters, angry that a free and fair election that President Biden won was being certified by Congress. Police officers attacked, the Capitol defiled. A year after this horrifying attack, the memories of what happened are still very fresh.
Well, of course, it's hard to believe that 12 months has passed. And I guess that's because for those of us on the Hill and maybe for many people around the country, it's still very present what happened.
Representative Karen Bass of Los Angeles was holed up in her office until the middle of the night.
I will tell you that many of my colleagues, both members of Congress as well as staff, continue to be very traumatized by what happened.
It was a pretty harrowing day.
Burbank Congressman Adam Schiff was on the House floor when rioters breached the building. He says he received a chilling warning from his GOP colleagues that he might be targeted by protesters because of his high-profile role in President Trump's first impeachment proceedings.
I had a couple of Republicans say to me, "You can't let them see you," meaning the insurrectionists. One of them said, "I know these people, I can talk to these people, I can talk my way through these people. You're in a whole different category."
There was bipartisan condemnation of President Trump's behavior at the time of the insurrection, although now some in the GOP have shied away from criticizing the former president. But not everyone. California GOP Executive Committee member Mario Guerra.
We all thought when we're watching this, where's the president? Why isn't he coming out right now? Please stop that. We're seeing the text from Ivanka and Donald Jr. saying, Meadows, get in there. He's got to say something. So I think everybody's urgency. So it's just mind-blowing why he didn't do that.
Of course, there were peaceful protesters at the January 6th rally and march before the riot.
I was blessed to be able to get into the VIP section at the Ellipse where Trump had his speech.
South End resident Janet Frazier, who snapped these photos, was among those who only protested and did not breach the Capitol. She is also among the millions who still believe the false claim that the election was stolen.
I watched the election get stolen in real time November 3rd.
And so the fallout continues, and adding another layer to the trauma, the conspiracy theories and false claims being made about the truth of what unfolded here, the effort by some on the right to rewrite history.
The fact that so many people are still describing it as something that didn't take place or have distorted so much what actually happened that it leaves your head spinning sometimes.
The incident is, by many accounts from the left and the right, a reminder of how potentially fragile our democracy may be. San Pedro Congresswoman Nanette Berrigan.
I think many of us thought that it was one day, it would pass, but it's really been an ongoing effort to fight to protect our democracy. And we're hearing about, elected officials still saying the election was stolen, still saying that it wasn't right to certify the election. And that is my greatest concern. It's the concern that the narrative is still being played out and that we need to fight back against the misinformation.
5 people died in the attacks, including Capitol police officers, even dying after by suicide. The House January 6th committee continues its investigation, and of course, we'll have much more from these interviews tomorrow. Serene.
Very interesting report, Tom. Thank you for that. Join us tomorrow for a live town hall from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. streaming on CBS Los Angeles. We'll talk to the experts about the path forward for America 1 year later. If you want to submit any questions, look for our posts on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.